Hello and welcome to me playing Mega Man 11 with my absolutely retarded challenge of beating the game with special weapons only. Unlike Mega Man 10, where you can actually make this happen without using the Mega Buster, the rules apply of that you have to use the Mega Buster until the first Robo Master is defeated. That's how the rules go. You're able to use whatever means and methods to get through the game. It even means save logging, so constantly going off and on a save over and over, or using whatever glitches to use a special weapon indefinitely, or whatever stuff you can see in Mega Man 2. But I'm not going to attempt this with glitches, nor use the speed gear. Power gear will be used only if necessary, but there are a few extra notes I will have to show you to try and make this run possible.
You stand on the threshold of the fight.
Okay, Mega, what'll it be?
So first, within the run, there's a few things I can get. So one of will be kind of like a casual, and energy tanks will be. Be a bit of a casual as well, for what Mega Man players know. It's like, duh, why wouldn't you want E-tanks? But weapon tanks are as busted as they were in Mega Man 7, with the ability to refill all your weapon gauges in one go. So these are a must-have, and I'm capable of holding 9. Eddy Cools will be the thing I'll use to replenish my weapon energy. Well, gamble the chance to replenish my weapon energy, because cheap cost. These two will be used to try and assist me in certain stages where there's lots of spikes. Spikes or pits. I don't think I'll need this much, unless I'm fighting some high damage enemies. These parts will be used very much. Energy Balancer will regenerate my weapon energy whenever I am going to have one weapon and it's already full, so I don't have to constantly swap between weapons. This can help a lot. It's just an upgraded version of the Energy Balancer. Water Charge Chip. Technically we don't need this, and this I don't think we need it either. Knockback Resist would be nice. Power Gear stuff not necessary. This we won't need it because we're not using Mega Buster. Except for the point when we beat the first Robot Master. This will help on Tundra Man stage. This will make grinding for shops easier, but I don't think we'll need it too much. If we can get this, that will help. These are not needed. This helps in late game, same as this.
Okay, Mega, what'll it be?
And sometimes when you play the game, there are a few special discounts that happen. So you have to kind of keep out for that. The order of how everything's going to be done is first Bounce Man, because it's easy amounts of enemies to beat, and then we go off to Fuse Man. We're gonna have to grind off a few things, because Bounce Man's being proven with the cheapest weapon energy cost, same with Blast Man of 28 shots. Well, let me rephrase that. 1 energy point per shot. But why would I want to start with Bounce Man first instead of Blast Man? Well, Bounce Man's been proven the easiest boss in the game. Well, easiest one of the 8 Robot Masters. While Blast Man's a pretty good one to start off with, Block Man's a straight roadblock. He's got 2 or 3 mini bosses in his stage, and 28 bombs is not enough. Plus it would be a mass mode to the absurd amount of weapon tanks you're gonna have to use. So Bounce Man is the first way to go. And then Fuse Man, and we'll need weapon energy tanks for it. Because with Bounce Man we're allowed to use the Mega Buster. Let's at the point. So we're able to use a Mega Buster until the first Robot Master is dead. So Bounce Man first, then Fuse Man. And then we continue the cycle on and on until eventually we hit the last point. Tundra Man should not be too hard. With a few extra attachments and weapon tanks, we can make your stage breeze. Torchman I've fought many times before, and I've put him as my first River Master fight, so I'm familiar with his pattern all the way. But Tundra Storm's gonna help a lot in Torchman's stage, so I might need a weapon energy tank to, for the stage and the boss fight. After Torchman, we must go off to Blast, because weapon effectiveness chart. And then Blockman with his 2 mini bosses, or 2 or 3 mini bosses, I'm not sure how many there are. Then Acid, and then finish it off with Impact Man. So estimating how hard this run's probably going to be for the first 8 Robot Masters, Bounce Man will be the starting of it. But the first part of the challenge when it starts picking up is the grind session of when we hit Fuse Man stage and Tundra Man stage if there is 2 mini bosses. But note, we're not using speed gear here, so Torch Man stage is going to be much harder, so we'll have to use Tundra Storm to stop those firewalls. So what my plan is here is to have find Mega Blast be used on Bounce Man so I can get it. And his weapon has 28 shots without needing to be refilled. Then go to Fuse Man, use the weapon normally. Try to conserve as much shots as possible while having a few weapon tanks for the boss fight. Remember, no speed gear, so some speed gear and Battle Gear bosses might be a little bit annoying to fight. But we're not playing superhero mode, so this is a big note. Torchman can be pretty difficult to fight if you don't know how to deal with his two-way thought process of if the opponent's far away or how close they are. You'll use certain attack patterns. Impact Man, he's kind of fast. Yeah. Bounce Man's the first one to do because it's the easiest pattern of just bouncing around the room and sometimes falling down when you're punching. Blast Man's got a much more superior pattern, but cooler, a much cooler weapon under both power gear and just normal use. But Blast Man would not be eligible without a grind session on Block Man stage. So there's a bit of a roadblock straight up. So it's Bounce Man up first, probably one of the most annoying stages first, but at least doing the annoying stuff first is better than doing it last. Nice. And then there's the wireless stages, that will be later. I don't have much of a strategy for it right now, but with the amounts of weapons I have, or the 8 weapons I'll be getting, I'm sure I should be able to breeze through the stages. Well, if they regenerate it after the end of each stage, then it's a bit of an easy war. The final fight's gonna be an issue because, spoiler alert, double gear system. We've got these weapons, so about something of 2 energy uses, 4 to activate this one. We get 28 uses. This one was 14 uses, I believe. 28, 14, I believe. 3 energy uses, so I'm not really going into much math. This one was like 4 weapon energy use, or 5. Still is expensive. Rush Coil and Rush Jet will be used from time to time, if I want to avoid a mass clump of enemies. I can use these 2 items. My main weapon was bound after the first 4 have been beaten. Main weapons I'll use are Bounce Ball and Chain Blast. Those will be for when I've been most of the Royal Masters. But yet again, I've done this run before in Mega Man 7, and I used a shield weapon junk barrier. So acid barrier is my version of that. Well, this game's version of it, it's got a little bit more of an offense capability this time. But I'll probably be more using Blazing Torch or Pile Driver to just ram through the enemies. Tundra Storm's an emergency only, in Tundra, and also in Torchman stage. If I've run out of weapon energy for all the other weapons and don't have any weapon tanks left, Tundra Storm is the last resort. And if I run out of all the weapon energy for Tundra Storm and don't have any weapon energy left, I'm gonna have to restart the stage. So with this strategy, I'm sure we can beat the game with special weapons only. Well, my rules of special weapons only. That's Mega Buster until the first boss is beaten, and then you have to use special weapons only. We're gonna have to commit a grind session like I did with the Mega Man 7 one, but I don't have a video for that, so well, I'll probably explain how the Mega Man 7 one happens in another video. Oh. So the plan is bounce ball and chain boss with cheap weapons, acid barrier for clear out, pile driver for mass jumps and leaps to conserve rush jet, Tundra Storm is an emergency, and Scramble Thunder for the ability of shooting directly upward, downward to deal with clumps of ground enemies like Mets. And note, we're not using power gear or speed gear, so that's a bit of a good note. And now, let's get on to this run.